We already talked about a couple different pre-sales yesterday and in the last video before that, so I thought let's talk about another one, in which stage 3 is already sold out, with stage 4 being open right now for Antix over here. They say reimagining human interaction with hyper-realistic digital twins for all, and with them selling out multiple stages fairly quickly, I thought this could potentially be something for you. I'll show you how to participate in the pre-sale as well, how to get some tokens, how to buy it, and what they do exactly. But as always, it's not financial advice, do anything with your money that you feel like doing. I'm just here to show you something that might be interesting. I also got myself some tokens, so let's focus on what they do first when they say step into a $300 billion industry with the Antix token, and that is going to be worth it, who's in the team, and some other details. As of right now, you can get the price for 57% cheaper, and they focus on disrupting traditional industries with brand new technologies. And as we get closer to Web 3 and further away from Web 2, with more things making it so that we can integrate anything that is happening in Web 3, they've positioned themselves in a way in which they were seen on some of the biggest billboards in the world, including Times Square over here in New York, as well as in Japan, and then also in Beijing in China, in which they showed Elisa, the digital human, which was also named one of the top 10 digital artworks of 2022. And with them being partnered with some of the biggest companies in Web 2, like HBO, Netflix, Game of Thrones and more, as well as Porsche, for example, Warner Brothers, Tencent, EA, and also allowing for the creation and earning potential from avatars as well as true IP ownership with the blockchain. They are part of an industry that is only going to grow more and more over time. For example, right now they say the virtual influencer market growth is at $15 billion by 2025, tripling the engagement of humans. And if I remember correctly, when they released Seraphine for League of Legends, they made her like a virtual influencer. It's just a champion that got released and then joined KDA, their, AI band, which is also AI based, or character based. Has real humans behind it, of course, but they're represented by 4 different skins and champions with, Ari, Evelyn, Kaiser, and number 4. Point is, that is only growing over time, and we've seen the first stages of that. They got some projections when it comes to the growth over time, in which they assume that by 2031, the entire market value is going to be at over 400 billion over the next 7 years, meaning just like different niches that people project to do quite well, which then gets represented in the price over time, like anything that has to do with real world assets and tokenization performed quite well this year alone. When the industry giants say that's where we are heading towards, then we should probably look into projects that do exactly that. And if this is happening for RWA, for Deepin and others, then projects like Antix are on the right way for yet another category that is only going to grow over time. They already get global clients while they're still being in the presale of their token. And if you ever played any game ever, then you come across NPCs, characters. And now imagine that something like, let's say GTA 6, for example, when it gets released, would have what they do integrated into their game. The team behind it worked in pretty much every single industry and known medium out there. And with them launching the token, it has these sticks but also additional benefits, there's some ways on how we, as people, can profit. I will mainly focus on the tokenomics in here. As you can see, just that one drop-down menu has like 35 things in there. So let's start with that. Antix is the utility token used in all types of operations. SBT, a soulbound token, represents a user's digital identity. For Antix, there's this diagram over here on how things flock together, which we can see NFT minting, staking, a voting system, as well as a reward pool, and a burning contract, making this deflationary over time, as well as lots of different ways on how the token can be used. I would assume mostly when they have a working product that everybody's happy with here and the token launches, and we normally inflate the price until everything gets released, it's going to be much more deflationary as the token actually has to be actively used. So when it comes to subscriptions, marketplace activity, NFT auctions and more, that's how the Antix token can be utilized. There will be 1 billion tokens total, 24% for the ecosystem, 5% for the seed round, 25% for the presale, tiny bit for KOLs, 12% for the team, 6% advisors, and 16% community rewards, as well as some airdrops and liquidity. And when it comes to the team and advisor tokens, if we look at the vesting schedule behind that, there's a 9-month lockup period, as well as a 36 months period of vesting. Which means, let's say they release the token in Q1 of next year, then at the end of 2028, they would have all the tokens unlocked. For the different stages in the presale, again we're in stage 4 right now, at which you can get a token at 0.06 USD or 6 cents. There'll be a 6 months lockup period with 12 months of vesting and a 9% unlock at TGE. As for staking, there are a couple different reward pools, but all of that only makes sense to talk about once we got the token, once it's released. which is in the future. For now, we just need to know that it's at 57% to the TGE price, with the current stage ending in about 10 days from now when you see it. I would assume I post this video like a day later. And you can also get a 5% bonus on the tokens that you buy if you use the link down below. So if you want to buy the token, you simply click on Connect Wallet to buy. In most of our cases, MetaMask, otherwise Phantom works as well. If you want to buy it that way, connect and confirm, click on Buy Now, and then over here, you can decide, do you want to use real world money, which is going to come soon with Visa and MasterCard, or USDC, USDT, and ETH on different chains, for which up here next to your wallet in the top right, you can click on the drop-down menu and select ETH, BNB, or Base, which means if you don't like the gas fees on ETH, simply go with Base or BNB and buy it that way. Otherwise, let's say for example you have like $4 in there, right? And you want to get any amount of Antix tokens. You'll click on deposit now, it says waiting for confirmation, and then depending on the time when you want to buy it, gas fees could be pretty big. Meaning you might need to spend $6 in there, maybe later on today this is like $2, and that's how you buy the token. Simply hit confirm, and that's how you buy the token, and it will then show on the left side how many tokens you got. Obviously if you want to buy more, get more, but it then tells you that Antix, the vested Antix, will be converted to Antix tokens according to the unlock investing schedule, for which we got a listing price of 14%, 12 months vesting, 1 month of claim intervals, 6 months of a lockup period, and the 9% with the initial unlocks. One thing that I thought was pretty unique when it comes to Antix compared to other projects that do something similar for character creation, including AI and all that, is that you can fine-tune everything. Think of this like when you create a character in an MMO and you have all the different sliders to make a character the way you like. That in better, as there are lots and lots of different ways. Obviously right now, they have, for example, GPT-4 support. Once we have GPT-5, that might be included. You can select a voice or create that and use more and more and more over time in order to fully customize the character the way you like. For different companies out there, whenever they have advertising budget, they usually spend it on either creating something like a mascot, making a trailer for something, or on movies when they have anything animated, they have characters in there. And in this case, just like VTubers exist already, that are mostly 2D anime characters, we would have that in much better quality for a far bigger variety of use cases. And because they're really early when it comes to all of that, I would assume, kind of like how different gaming companies just need one single game in order for it to pop off, as long as they have one character that really takes off, it can easily carry the entire project. But they're also transforming what it means to own digital assets with the NFT passport. So you don't just own a digital human, you shape it entirely. So when we talked about how to customize them with the voice, with accessories, all of that, that is what they're building while they're making it all ours, secured by blockchain authentication. So for example, let's say you create a character which then becomes popular and will be used in a movie trailer, for example. It can now be verified that you own that. It's yours. So when you play any game, let's say you play League of Legends and you buy a skin, that isn't yours. You just have access to it on your account. But in that case, it would be yours. And if you would create, let's say, a skin that people want to buy, then you could make money that way. That's one of the upsides we have with NFTs. And once that becomes much more popular, we'll probably see it in every single game. And to show you one thing that I thought was pretty cool, the CEO behind Antix also made an announcement video when they had the token sale once that started. And here's the weird thing. You would assume this is the CEO, right? This is not the CEO. This is a digital twin of the CEO, which means it's not the guy behind it, not the founder. It's the copy of the founder on a digital version through Antix. He looks pretty real to me, and you would need to really focus in order to see the difference. Only takeaway is that the background is kind of, vibrating a little, changing shape very slightly. But other than that, I would say that's a human, but it isn't. So AI is getting scary, and it's only getting better over time. While they already created different character models and things in game for various different clients out there, they might have also done that for a couple other companies out there that you might have heard about. You've probably seen Porsche before. And if that is already posted by the official accounts, then it's only going to be more over time. They also partnered with a sheikh in Dubai, who is part of the royal family in the UAE. And together they're backing a venture with holographic screens, which brings digital humans, what they do, to life in stunning 3D. Now, based on the article from earlier, in which they projected the market growth or worth of this industry to be 400 billion, 430 or so by 2031. If Antix would go to 40 billion right now, it would be in the top 10 of all crypto, to give a rough idea on how big it could get. That would also mean the billion token in total supply, that would be at $40 a token, or if it launches at 14 cents a piece, about a 285x from launch or a 666x from the current price if we go to 40 billion with all tokens in supply. With everything growing more and more, anything that is cloud-based, AI-based, and artificial intelligence or software as a service, being at 256 billion this year alone, there's very likely going to be at least one project that has to do with crypto and this technology that merges things together that grows a lot with that valuation. Where the token is still at 57% off and you get a 5% bonus if you buy it with the link down below, they say, or at least plan on launching the token on February 1st of next year, so in pretty much exactly 1 month from now. And if you want to get some tokens, maybe even just $10 worth, you can do so on various different chains. I'll mostly recommend to use USDT or USDC on base, so you don't pay any gas fees. And even if you just hold the token, the price should technically go up by a lot, as every single month there will be a burning event to make it inflationary, in which they use 5% of the platform's net profit in order to buy the token and burn it permanently, which then means with the lockup period of up to almost 4 years for the team tokens, for example, we might only have 8% for liquidity at launch, as well as 10%, maybe 12% of the token in supply, while it then steadily gets burned, making it more scarce, and then hopefully make it grow exponentially right away. The team behind it also has some pretty good expertise that they bring to this project. And for example, the CEO of Singularity DAO and the leader in AI and DeFi is one of the advisors behind it, same as Alexander, who is one of the advisors, and then also Marta Zorosa over here. And if they combine all of that with the roadmap that dates back to 2021, where they laid the foundation, then I would assume over the next few quarters of 2025, with the platform beta release, the expanded capabilities, and more, that they're going to be quite big, and you will hear about them again in the next year. Which then means, again, if you want to get the token, you get 5% extra with the link down below. It's 57% less than the TGE price at 6 cents a token compared to 14 cents at launch. Stage 1 sold out within a couple minutes. Stage 4 we are in right now. It ends in 11 days and we're at more than 50% already. And could be something for you. As always, it's not financial advice, just tokens and projects that seem pretty interesting that you might like as well, for which you can do quite a lot of research, considering the white paper has a lot of different pages in here. You can open everything, read about the details, their value proposition, their target groups and more, and then see if this one is something that you want to get into. If so, links down below, and I'll see you in the next video, probably in 2025. Until then, take care.